And just like that, we are back again. Like we have never left. We've not skipped a beat. Sunday, we are live.
That's
And
right.
I see the Michigan. Hey, LT.
Oh yeah,
Top
got to rep Sunday after hate week. Upset in
up,
Columbus, Ohio. Upset in the Horseshoe. Hey,
hey, how about that brawl that happened after the game?
hey, you know, hey,
trying to
we
trying
put
to
we
plant the
put it on
flag
so bad,
on your ops' land. You know, you're trying to
man. The
plant a flag.
police,
Come on, man. That's
the
disrespectful.
the police had to mace us to get us off of them. So
I hear you, man. But hey, to is it called to the spoils is the victory, whatever that phrase is.
to the victor go the spoils. Hell
Well,
to the
they
victors.
won. Let them do their thing. Let them do their thing. It's been another. This is episode 35, actually. Post
Hey,
family time, post whatever you call it, Turkey Day, Thanksgiving,
oh
uh,
yeah, Black
uh,
Friday special
Black
shopping.
Friday, all that stuff.
Cyber Monday tomorrow.
Yeah. The real question is, are you still eating the when do you stop eating the leftovers though?
So I commuted. So yeah, I can't bring food 8 hours on the drive. But I mean, if you got a good freezer, if you live somewhere cold, you just put it in the garage and let Mother Nature do her thing. But I mean, shoot, our food is well seasoned, so it can stretch a little bit.
You gotta throw that food away after 3 days, or you're gonna get sick. You're gonna get. But anyways, we are back again. Another great episode of Who's Fighting, and like we've done lately, we've been doing our fighter spotlights. We in the past we've had S3, and then we've had we've had an MMA fighter, but this time around, LT, we got somebody who has done it at the big stage, and who's still doing it at the big stage. I mean, I'm talking about a former WBC silver featherweight champion and is highly ranked in his division. I don't want to even waste any time, but let me bring our guest in. And put him on the spotlight here on our show because he deserves all the shine. What's up, Sula?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you, man?
We're doing pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me on your podcast,
Yeah, we have
Thanks
Sula.
Thanks.
Sula Segawa. This is big for us, highly ranked, fought the big fights, and he's been on MSG, and also we share something in common where he's an expat like me, so, both from Uganda. So Sula, tell us how's it going? How's your Thanksgiving and everything?
No, my Thanksgiving was great. I had some family gatherings around, so I had to visit some family homes. My wife, she's from DC.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we had to visit some family, and that's it.
Oh,
nice.
That sounds fire.
Yeah.
So Sula, I know you've been you're based in the Silver Springs DMV area. Is that?
Yeah, I'm in the DMV area, Silver Springs. So it's in Maryland. Yeah, it's a small city in Maryland. Yeah.
How is the boxing culture out there? I know some DMV boxes like Tank. What's the boxing culture out there like?
No, we have a lot of like boxing over here in the DMV area, especially Maryland. I think we have the top great fighters around. The likes of Sugar Ray, Tank, the likes of we have the Lamont brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're really packed over here when it comes to fighters.
And so the East Coast is nothing to get up and down the East Coast. You get the Philly real quick, Jersey, New York, all of that.
Philly got there's a hub out there, and you fighters that develop it and step on the big stage from that area. For our audience, I know a lot of people know you in the boxing world, but for our audience, this is for combat sports casuals and some people that are into the sport. But just to reintroduce yourself to the audience, like who is Sula, the ruler Segawa, and tell them what you do, man.
All right, Sula Segawa. I go by the names of Sulaiman Segawa. I'm a professional boxer all the way from Uganda, relocated to the Netherlands, and I ended up coming to the US. So I'm a married man. I'm a family man. So that's my life.
Hey.
Yeah.
Say that any better. So take us back to the days of your development.
Yeah.
where did it all start from? And I'm assuming this is in Uganda. So
Yeah, probably this started around 96, 97.
uh,
Around that era, I was like 7 and a half, 8 years. That's when I started boxing in Uganda. So basically, for me, I grew up playing in the gym. So I'm born and raised in Chisenyi. Chisenyi is nearby, Nachivubo. It's within a city.
mhm.
So we had like a national stadium around the area where I grew up. And that national stadium had different, aspects of sports. So I used to go in the gym. I used to play in the gym. The gym was my playground before, I was introduced to boxing. I fell in love with it until today.
Wow,
Nice.
you're one of those kids that just were running in the gym, just
Exactly. Yeah, that was my playground.
just in there absorbing, getting water for the fighters and doing all sorts of
That's it.
running errands.
That's me.
And the fighter
Yeah.
said, "I need some, some
Mhm.
aspirin, whatever. I need some some painkillers.
Yeah.
Yo, run over there."
Yeah.
I hear you, man. Those are the ones that become the world champions for real, for real. Those gym
Real?
kids.
Yeah. I was, kind of a gym kid though. Yeah.
So, do you have a question, LT, before I follow up?
Now go ahead, keep going.
So, with that being said, so I know you said Nachivubo, right? Nachivubo.
Yeah.
I
Correct.
knew that stadium very well. So I'm from your generation. So I remember that was the main stadium before Nambole. I
Yeah.
remember, I grew up in a family where we like people call it soccer here, but football. So there was a rivalry. There was KCC and Villa, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that stadium would get fully packed. But
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I remember that stadium for. But really and truly, I didn't know that was a boxing hub over there, because
No, there
also
was.
when
Yeah.
I growing up, I grew up around a boxing hub in Kololo, because
Yeah.
I went to a primary school called Lohana, and next
Mhm.
door to Lohana, there's a high school which I know you know very well, Kololo, that developed a lot of champions, African champions, Commonwealth fighters. And to
Yeah.
mention a few, let's talk about some of those development camps from Bama to Zebra to who else am I missing here? The schools that had the boxing and were developing fighters.
Like Dynamic and Kampala
Yeah.
Citizens,
Mhm.
yeah.
How was it, and how is it compared to now? I know you've apparently not been there to see what the development is
I
like.
haven't been there for the past like 5 years because I was there. The last time I was there, that was 2019 before the pandemic. And I haven't been there ever since. It's like coming to 6 years almost.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I remember that was a very good group of people that were developing in that era that we came from. I remember even the military had their team. And
Yeah. Until now, the military still has their team. KCC has their own team. East Coast. When it comes to Uganda, boxing is mobile. It's like a ghetto sport.
Right.
They consider it as like a ghetto sport.
Right.
So kids who come from, like the ghettos, underdeveloped, communities, those are kids who do boxing in my country.
Facts. And you know what's funny? Even here in the States, all the great boxers do come from certain places. I mean, it's hard to see a rich kid tapping into the pain game, because it's a pain game for real. Like
it is
really for people that are fighting to get out of something. So you're absolutely right. Even in Uganda, it did galvanize and give some of the ghetto youth a structure, a program, an activity to do away from what they could have been doing on the other end. So you are one of those kids that came from that training regimen as a child. You're just seeing people fighting. You're seeing all sorts of things. What inspired you to say, hey, you know what? From just being a Wells in the gym who chills in the gym with other kids and being marveled by these fighters, when did you pick up the gloves and say, hey, now it's my turn to go do this thing? At what age did you take it serious?
Probably at like 7.5. Because by the time I was playing in the gym, I wanted to be like one of those great people in the gym. So we'll always see people doing sparring in the gym, in the ring, and you'll be like, no, I want to be like them. So those people I grew up around during that era, those are the people I used to look up to. So when you have people who are always beating up each other in the ring, they motivate you because since you play in the gym, so you're like, I can be like them.
Yeah.
So they usually used to motivate me, the people I used to see training in the gym where I used to play.
Yeah. Oh man, that's major. Do you have any names, any shout outs that the people that kind of What your inspirations at that time? Like from remembering from young, like
Yeah,
this.
so from when I was young, so my trainers used to look to people who are already here in the US. They
Right.
used to look to the likes of the Marvin Hagler, Mugabe. Mugabe was a Ugandan, but I didn't know him at that time. But they
Yeah.
used to talk of him. So the era they used to talk of, that's the era of the 80s. So I'm kind of old school when it comes to boxing, because my coaches used to tell me, a lot of stories about old school fighters. So those are the people even until now that I still look up to.
All right. So from that, let's fast forward to you having
Yeah.
your first professional fight that happened actually in Sabrina's pub in
Yeah.
Kampala, and you fought
Yeah.
Armstrong Mwanje.
Yeah.
And how was that transition from? Because I know I did some research. You have a very long amateur career. I will talk
Yeah.
about you actually with Willie with the Commonwealth Games, how you're bouncing from amateur and pro, and how you're
I know.
mixing it and doing
Yeah.
that. Amazing. And Willie gave us some stories about Morocco we'll get into, but I
Yeah.
know we're strapped for time for lack of a better word. But let's talk about you pivoting into your first professional fight that was held at Sabrina's pub.
Yeah, so me competing basically my first fight, I remember I was nervous. I knew I was great, but still I was nervous because it was a different era that I was going into. I was crossing from the amateurs to start like a real career. So when you're starting a real career, so I thought, since I grew up in the gym, I thought boxing it's a game. Until now, I know it's a game, but people go in there to kill each other.
Right.
So that's not how I take it. I take it like a game. I go in the ring to play boxing.
Yeah.
Not to really fight but I just go to play the game. So as you transition and as you grow, you start understanding that no, it's life and death in the ring. So you have to go there to kill.
Right. So when did you get that mental switch? And LT, sorry if I'm hogging, please step in. But when did you get that mental switch? Because I'll tell you the truth, it's the same thing as any other sport.
Yeah.
I played rugby my whole life growing up,
Yeah.
a teenager. To get the killer mentality is just not something you just learn.
It's not easy. It's not. Yeah, you just have to learn it. And it takes time. I've been boxing almost for like 26 years.
Right.
But to get that killer instinct, I think I just got it in the last 2 years. But until now, that's not me. I try to do it, but that's not me. I just know I'm just there to play the sport.
All those fights leading up to your 17 wins, you were just in simulation mode. You were just
playing boxing.
Wow. And you know what's funny? And LT could second me on this. A lot of boxers say this is not a play type of thing.
Yeah.
You can't play boxing and then
you can.
And we're like simulation. I've been doing this my whole life. I've been in the gym my whole life. I know this little square or little rectangle. I know how to work and I know how to play this game.
Exactly. I know how to maneuver through each and every situation because I grew up playing boxing. To me, it's like playing a video game.
Right.
Whoever you put me in front, I know I can go in with anybody. But the only difference is once they come to me, they come to kill. I come to play. So I use I use whatever they come with onto me to change it into a game. Then eventually they get frustrated. That's when I start tricking them into my,
Do you remember the exact moment that you came to that realization? Was it the look in the guy's eye across from you? Was it a punch that they threw? What was it?
No, it wasn't a look. It was my trainer. Because, my trainer also, figured this out. He was like, Sula, you're great. You beat up people, everybody. You make them, you make people feel embarrassed in boxing. But when we go into a ring, like in a real fight, still you're doing the same things you play in the gym. No, it's not a play. It's life and death on the line. People are coming to hurt you. To me, I don't look at them as if they're enemies. But my trainer was like, those are enemies. They are here to kill you. So you have to understand, you have to be there to also defend yourself, to either try to kill them or to suffocate them as they're trying to kill you. So to me, until now, to transit into having that I'm here to fight, I don't get it, but it is the name of the game. I just know how to play the game.
Yeah. I've been looking at your record and I've been seeing the flow of your record, and out of your 24 wars that you've been in, you don't get damaged a lot. And their notes that people write about you, they call you the switch. You like to switch. People don't know whether you're better with your left, but really you're a lefty. But sometimes you confuse people with your right stand. Like
the trick is, I'm a left-handed fighter, but I'm a natural right-handed fighter.
Oh,
yeah, I'm right-handed, but I learned boxing as a left-handed person.
so that's what they say. You're tricky that they
Yeah.
cannot figure you out. Even when you were
Yeah.
fighting with Carrington, I could
Yeah.
see. I mean, he's a good fighter. Bruce is a good fighter. Shushu, right?
He is.
And I could see
Yeah.
him having difficulty adjusting to you. Actually, the truth being known, I thought you won that fight, but that's another
Everybody told to. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
adjusting to your trickery.
Yeah.
How did you develop that? Now that I know that you're a righty, how did you
Yeah.
develop fighting the unorthodox style?
Now I feel as if it's the easiest way to do it. It's like, if somebody tells me to throw a stone, I'll throw with my right hand.
Right.
So it's much more easier for me to, lead with my power hand than putting my power hand behind. Yeah.
Ah.
I've heard a commentator say that too. Like they don't know why more people that are naturally right-handed learn how to box as a southpaw.
Yeah.
You're more active with your dominant hand.
True. Yeah, if you lead with it, yeah. That's how I feel too.
Wow, that makes all the sense in the world now that
Yeah.
I've been watching your fighting. So let's go back to a momentous time,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna scheme through this. We only have very little time with you, but
Yeah.
let's start with the good times, right? Let's talk about
Yeah.
2023 when
Yeah.
you attained the WBC Silver Featherweight Championship,
Yeah.
and you did the country proud.
Yeah.
Take us to that time and take us to the opponent that you fought with to attain that belt.
Yeah, to attain that belt. Actually, that belt came in. Actually, I was the B side. Probably I was like a stepping stone on that fight. I had a fight earlier before that one. It happened to be also in Vegas. I fought a guy from Argentina. But the mere fact that, I'm playing boxing, I'm not there to kill. So I ended up losing the fight. But the fight wasn't, broadcasted. I felt I won it too. But the mere fact that I was the B side, they just gave it to, Miko, the Argentina guy, because the promoter was his favorite.
Right.
Then after that fight, I think Top Rank realized that I'm an easy guy because, they had stayed away from me for like 3 years.
Yeah.
They didn't want nothing to do with me. Until they saw that I lost to an Argentina guy, then they ended up giving me the world title in the silver, WBC silver. It's a world title, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So they ended up giving me the fight after my loss to an Argentina guy. Then I surprised them. They didn't think I could, do better against Villa. Is it Ruben Villa?
Ruben Villa, yeah. Ruben Villa.
Yeah. Yeah, but the mere fact that I saw how he fights, I knew he was a very, very technical fighter. But the mere fact that I do play boxing, I thought that I could frustrate him some way, somehow.
And you won that. That was a 10-rounder, I believe, right?
It was, yeah.
10-rounder. So leading to and my pardon me, I made a mistake. Not 2023. It was 2024 back in September.
2024. Yeah, you're right.
You fought Ruben Villa. It was short-lived, to be honest. Because you're an active fighter now, you're hot. Top ranking sees you. Top ranking have a baby face that they're trying to promote, and you know how it goes. And you're gonna fight this baby face in his hometown versus judges versus Martin Square Garden.
You have all odds against you. Yeah,
all odds against you. And first of all, salute to you for being our national treasure fighting in Madison Square Gardens. Even
thank you. Yeah.
Being a gladiator on that stage is something to behold. That's the same stage Kobe dropped. His famous. Kobe doing work.
Everybody comes into Madison Square Garden. And they know it. Yeah.
And you had a chance to be an orchestrator, to be a performer, to be a gladiator in that arena. Let's talk about that fight to Shushu. What just go, I mean you let's talk about it.
Actually, everybody until today I haven't even watched. Actually, guess what? I don't watch boxing that often. I have never watched the fight I won against Ruben Villa. The one I had with Shushu, I haven't watched it. It's on YouTube, but I haven't watched it yet. Because I'm not a fan of watching fights. Right. But I can memorize, I can, try to recall a few things that I did in the fight. So when it came to the Shushu fight, I believe I won it, but because he was the A side, he was in his hometown, Top Rank couldn't let me go away with it, but, I don't know.
So. Yeah. LT, what do you watch that fight?
Well, do you feel like you could have did more, or did you feel like was there anything that you would change, or?
No, anything I would change would to go for a knockout. But depending on what I knew that I had, I knew at least I had him like 8-2. So I was very confident that I had the fight because he couldn't touch me. And if you look at my face after the fight and look at his face,
Right.
he was so messed up. And I'm like, I don't know where the judge were looking. So I don't know. So sometimes you get bad days and good days, but
yeah, like you frustrated him, and I'm kind of like looking at my notes here. Total fights total punches that he threw 358. You threw 416. He landed 91. You landed 108. Your percentage was higher than him by 1%. He had 25% accuracy. You had 26, and you had 30 body shots that you caught him clean, and he had 24. All the numbers, the stats were on your side.
Yeah, we're all on my side. Yeah,
officiating and the ref, the not refereeing, but the judges.
The judges. Yeah,
they were not. They had a script to play.
They had, because even the way they read the score, it showed that they had already decided who they wanted to give the fight to. So there is nothing I could change.
Yeah. So my lead up question to that, after having that momentous of a day, how do you get back, recharge, and want to go for it again after experiencing that?
After experiencing that, so the only difference is, once I told you I grew up in the gym, so to me it's always a game. No matter how many wins I have, no matter how many losses I get, to me it's a game. I'm just playing boxing. I know it's a game where you can get killed. People get hurt in the ring, but to me I'm just playing the game. I'm just playing boxing. So I feel as if like whatever happens, I stay on my course moving until the last day. I'll be like, I'm done. But right now I'm not done. I'm still having like 3 more years doing this. Then I'll hang my gloves up.
Yeah, that's good. Ilti, you have something to ask?
Sula? Well, I mean, he kind of gave me a segue. Like, when that time comes, do you have interests outside the sport that you would like to share? Or?
I think I'll stay within the sports, because right now, actually, as I'm fighting, still I have some kind of partners that I do work with, people who want me to show them some of my skills. So some of them, they come to me, I mentor them about what it is, how the game is, So I'm developing my team over here, getting people who want to know more about the sport, explaining to them. Then they pay for that kind of service. So I'm trying to see if I can get something I can evolve through, maybe like start a gym or something like that.
Okay, so you want to pay it forward and maybe do some consulting and coaching.
Yeah, consulting, in the game.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking here at the rankings. WBC still has you ranked as top 5.
Yeah,
so, you're a top 5 on in that thing. So there could be moving chairs here where you get to fight for that main thing.
They might. Actually, I have a meeting on the 7th. This next week on Saturday. It's gonna be in Arizona. They have a fight. Like a top rank, they have a fight. So I have a meeting with them on that day. I'll be flying down there.
Yeah, I'm looking at your ranking at the featherweight. Like you're ranked really, really high. You're a top 5. So in WBC, that is, and anything can go from 1 to 5. Those are like
they can call you at any time. You never know when they'll call you. As long as they keep you there, you just have to know that. Yeah,
the champ wants to fight 2. The champ wants to fight 3. It's your chance to shine. It's your chance to be ready at all times.
All times.
Wow, wow, that's that, and I just did that research right now.
That's a good organization to be in good with too. They take care of you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and also being doing what you have to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So with and I'm bringing it back to our grassroots to UG, and also we'll talk about Baltimore with you being heavy. I've been noticing one of your websites or one of the websites that you're on. You're big on personal training and developing young talent.
Yeah.
Did you come from the same? I'm going to go back to the Baltimore question, but I'm bringing it back to Uganda. Did you come from a Mando school of boxing, or were you from a different trainer?
No, it's from a different trainer.
From a different trainer.
Yeah.
Okay, with what you're doing here in Baltimore, would you reciprocate that to the grassroots in Uganda? Because I know I would want to.
Yeah, because actually I have a few gyms that I'm affiliated to that I do, help and support, because I'm trying to develop new talent down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you have any, please let me. We DM all the time. Just connect me. I would love to donate if it's boxing gloves, if
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Money, you know,
Yeah.
usually we don't donate money. You know how that goes. But
Nah.
if
Yeah.
it's here, I would want to do that and help out because I've been seeing Isaac, his
Yeah.
video, Isaac,
Yeah.
Ibra, and they're
Yeah.
doing putting in work and how he's galvanizing the boys
The
in that
sport. Yeah.
you know, in
Mhm.
that neighborhood and keeping them busy away from the streets and his
Yeah.
in the boxing gym is something that I would want to help with that if I had any
Thank.
resources over here or get some people to put something together so we could help the grassroots over there. Even not only there, but even here in my city, I would want to do that because
Yeah.
really, like you said, boxing is a ghetto sport. Like
It
it does
is.
help those students from I mean those I say students, but those kids from a same background. So same thing as
Yeah.
what you're doing over there in Silver
In
Spring
Uganda. Yeah.
and Maryland and Uganda.
Aye.
With that being said, do you have any upcoming? I know you're waiting for a call, but do you have a for sure date or time where you think you're gonna be maybe stepping in the ring again?
Probably that will be next year, either March or April. That's when I'll be back in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. LT, do you have any closing questions, or do you want to revive?
I just say it doesn't help that, or it doesn't hurt that the WC president's name is Mauricio Sulaiman.
Yeah, he calls me
So-
cousin though. Yeah. Whenever he meets me, he's like, young cousin. I'm like, yeah, it's just a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, before we close, this is something I want to bring up.
Yeah.
Willard told us about the horror story that you guys had for the Olympic qualifiers in 2016.
Yeah.
He told us about, and I don't not to drag the federation, the boxing federation in UG,
Yeah.
but that you guys had to sleep in the airport.
Yeah, we
before
had to. It was crazy. Actually, but
qualifiers.
yeah, I think the federation had money, but the money was a little bit, like messed up with other officials.
Mm,
So we ended up, suffering the consequences, we as the fighters.
yeah.
I think somebody took the money and used it for their own benefits. And by the time, they had to take care of us, the money wasn't there. So we had to struggle on our own.
Mm.
Yeah.
Trickle down economics.
Oh,
I know.
man.
Yeah.
Me and it made a lot of sense where he said you were ranked in Africa already.
Yeah.
Kind of like a slam dunk for you to be a representative in the Olympics because of your ranking. And he said he was ranked number 3. So
Yeah.
he didn't put his best foot forward because he was hungry and he didn't sleep good. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we can laugh about it right now because he's in the Netherlands right now working on
Yeah.
career and his trajectory is looking good. And then you're 24 fights in with I don't know, maybe 300 amateur fights.
I know. Yeah, it's a lot of amateur background. Yeah, that's what shaped me. And most people, when they see me, they're like, "But who is that guy?" But forgetting that I had a big amateur background,
Right.
so that already, justified that I belong there. But people look at me as if I'm there. Like, where did he come from?
No, you've been around.
Yeah.
But Sula, not to
Yeah.
keep you on here too long, thank you for stopping by here.
Thank you for having me, man. All right, it's my pleasure.
LT, do you have any closing remarks for our guest? Anything? Actually,
but-
before he leaves, let's run his banner. We should have been doing
Yeah.
that.
Now the
Follow him.
pleasure is all ours.
Yeah.
This is a momentous occasion for us because we know that you're gonna get another strap.
All right,
So-
anytime. Yeah.
Yeah. Strap season is soon.
Oh yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's
Thank
been
you,
a
man.
episode of Who's Fighting with our special guest Sula, the ruler, Segawa. We have LT in the building. Ladies,
All right, my man. Thank you.
gentlemen, who's fighting? And we out.